The idea of high-res or lossless audio over Bluetooth is a scam and a marketing gimmick. But that doesn't mean it's unimportant. Now, I've been getting to test this with the questyle QCC Dongle Pro, a USB-C Bluetooth audio dongle that bypasses your device's internal Bluetooth radio and gives you all of the most modern, up-to-date, lossless Bluetooth codecs via USB-C. This has allowed me to test and review headphones in a way that I never have before and has really shined a light on what matters when you're getting a pair of headphones. Now, if you're new around here, my name is Mitchell. I like to make videos about mobile tech so you know what to get and what to forget. Now, AliExpress challenged me to make a video to celebrate their upcoming 11/11 day sale, and as someone that uses AliExpress to buy a lot of audio products, I thought that something like this was a great fit, and we'll talk a little bit more about the AliExpress 11/11 day sale towards the end of this video. First, I want to give you guys a brief rundown on the questyle QCC Dongle Pro. Now, the questyle QCC Dongle Pro has all of the newest and most up-to-date Bluetooth audio codecs, including Qualcomm apt-x adaptive, Qualcomm apt-x HD, Qualcomm apt-x, apt-x lossless, LDAC, AAC, and the SBC audio codec. This means that no matter what pair of headphones you have, this dongle will allow you to listen to them in the highest resolution and highest bit rates possible. This is done through an iOS or Android app, and once you set the headphones up with this dongle, you can use it on any computer or any device that has USB-C audio out. This is awesome for people with iPhones or Apple computers like myself, because those devices are limited to AAC and SBC, which means that if I'm home and I want the best listening experience possible, theoretically, I can't really get that with a pair of wireless headphones unless I'm using a dongle like this. Now, talking about testing, I paired this dongle with more than 6 different pairs of headphones, all that support different variations of what we might call high resolution or lossless audio. I tested these with the SoundPeats Air 5 Pro, which feature both apt-x adaptive as well as LDAC. I tested them with the Earfun Air 4 Pro, Earfun Air Pro 4. I screw up the names. I tested them with the SoundPeats Pearl Clip Pro, the Edifier WH830MB over ears, as well as the One Audio Focus A6. So a very, very large selection of headphones. I then got to choose between all of the different flavors of audio codecs that these devices support, and I got to test things like LDAC at 330 kilobits per second, 660 kilobits per second, all the way up to LDAC 990 kilobits per second. I've also gotten to test apt-x HD and apt-x adaptive in a variety of different flavors, from the high quality to the standard quality, all the way to the low quality. Now, in my testing, I noticed a couple of big takeaways. First, I want to talk a little bit about LDAC. At the lowest bitrate of 330 kilobits per second, LDAC is oftentimes kind of thought of as the lossless audio codec, but the truth is that that really only happens when you get into the 660 kilobits per second and up to that 990 kilobits per second. That's kind of where this codec shines in being able to transmit a lot of data wirelessly over Bluetooth. The downsides of this was that in my testing using this at LDAC 990 kilobits per second, I had absolutely horrible range on all of my devices. I could put my phone down in a room, leave the room, and immediately experience dropouts, lag, etc. This was kind of standard for most of the headphones I tried, and even in the same room, if I went to the other side of it and the headphone with the Bluetooth transmitter was not facing or line of sight with this dongle, I would get constant interruptions. This got better at different levels of LDAC. At 660 kilobits per second, I got slightly better range and performance, and at 330 kilobits per second, it was probably the best. That said, I noticed that the battery drain when using headphones at their highest bitrate was significantly higher than when I used them in LDAC 330 or even LDAC 660. So worse range and higher battery consumption with LDAC's lossless settings. And before I talk more about my findings with apt-x, I want to talk a little bit about the AliExpress 11/11 day sale. Now, I love AliExpress because of their selection of audio products. All of the best chi-fi or Chinese hi-fi audiophile products are always available on AliExpress, and even other products that are available on Amazon are usually significantly cheaper, and the 11/11 day sale is no exception. I've put what some of my top picks are for audio products in the description, as well as a pinned comment, along with some coupon codes that you guys can use if you want to pick those up as well. Now, my experience with apt-x was definitely a little bit better than that with LDAC. Using apt-x HD and apt-x adaptive with a variety of different headphones, I noticed less of a drop off in range with apt-x compared to LDAC. Now, part of this might be because the bitrate from apt-x isn't as high as it is for LDAC, but overall, I found that apt-x HD and the various different flavors of apt-x to offer a better and more stable connection with slightly less battery drain when compared to LDAC. Now, why is any of this important and why should you care? Well, a lot of budget headphones have been recently coming out with the promise of high-res audio because they feature things like Snapdragon sound or LDAC. The truth of the matter is that most streaming services like Spotify or Apple Music, YouTube Music, etc., are streaming at 320 kilobits per second. Even with the base versions of LDAC and apt-x, you're still going to get more than enough data transmission to hear all of the information being streamed from that audio streaming service to your device. If you're using something like Tidal or Deezer, or you have a large local selection of FLAC files that you're listening to, you're probably not using Bluetooth audio. But if you are, and you do want to hear all of your music, then something like the questyle QCC Dongle Pro is going to have all of your bases covered no matter what pair of headphones you pick. I hope you guys enjoyed this dive into the world of audio codecs and compression. And until next time, it's been Mitchell. Now, why does any of this matter? Now, why is any of this important? Now, why is any of this important? Why does this matter? And even better services like Deezer or